I mean, I am dyslexic, and therefore I think I've been very good at keeping things simple because you know, as a dyslexic, I need things to be simple for myself, and therefore Virgin, I think, you know, when we launch a financial service company or a bank, you know, we do not use jargon. Everything's very clear cut, very simple, and you know, I think people have an affinity to the Virgin brand because we don't talk above them or talk down to them.
I mean, I think a lot of people do not have the courage to try to start a business, and all I would say, I mean, I've written a book called "Screw It, Just Do It," and it basically is trying to say to people, just give it a try. Actually, sometimes a very, very small amount of money is all that's needed to start a company. I mean, my mother found a bracelet on the street and she handed it into the police station, and after 3 months the police let us sell it, and you know, the couple of $100 was, you know, really critical at a critical time in the development of our business. So all I say, just give it a go, and good luck on that one.
Well, I think the most important thing about running a company is to remember all the time what a company is. A company is simply a group of people, and as a leader of people, you have to be a great listener, you have to be a great motivator, you have to be very good at praising and looking for the best in people. You know, people are no different from flowers. If you water flowers, they flourish. If you praise people, they flourish, and that's a critical attribute of a leader.
You know, there's a very thin dividing line between success and failure when you start a business from scratch. And you know, if you don't have enough money to pay the bills, you go the wrong side of that dividing line. And if you can somehow get enough money to pay the bills, you stay the right side of that dividing line. You know, I've always been running faster than perhaps I should, and I have great difficulty saying no to things, so keep on taking on new things. And we've just managed to stay the right side of the dividing line over the last 50 years in business. But equally, in those early days, when you're starting a business without any financial backing, it's easy to slip the wrong side. And in fact, you know, most entrepreneurs do slip the wrong side. And the important thing is then just to, you know, pick yourself up. And you know, start again, and if it doesn't work at that time, keep going until you do succeed, and not to give up.
I think the next stage is is to be a great delegator, and not try to do everything yourself. Try to find people who are better than you all the time. Try to find people who are better than you to put you out of business effectively. So you know, whatever you're spending all your day doing, try to find someone who's better than you to do that, to replace you at it, so that you know, you can go off and, you know, think about the next big picture. You know, an entrepreneur is not a manager. I mean, an entrepreneur is somebody who is great at conceiving ideas, starting ideas, building ideas, but then handing over to really good managers to manage the businesses. You know, the moment you've got more than one business, you can't be hands-on doing everything.
I don't actually think that the stereotype of a business person treading all over people to get to the top, generally speaking, works. I think if you treat people well, people will come back and come back for more. And it's a very small world. I actually think that the best way of becoming a successful business leader is dealing with people, you know, fairly and well, and like to think that's how we run Virgin.
I love learning. I've never actually thought I was, starting a company as such. I just saw situations as I travelled in life where I felt I could improve on the way things were being done by other people. So, one of my favourite phrases is "screw it, let's do it," and I've used that phrase a lot of times. And we just love going in and trying to shake up industries and doing it better than it's been done before.
Yeah, when we launched Virgin Atlantic 30 years ago, the New York Times did a review, and they did some market research, and they said, first of all, with a name like Virgin, it's not going to go the whole way. But secondly, that they did market research which said only 7% of people would fly on an airline called Virgin, and we put our hands up and said 7% would be just fine. So, so we carried on with it. But there were a lot of skeptics out there, and there always will be lots of skeptics when you want to start something new. Everybody will tell you why it's a bad idea, why you shouldn't do it, why you'll lose everything you've got, and in the end you just got to get out and try to prove them wrong. But good luck.
I think the word business, it becomes a business, but what you're doing is you're painting a picture. You're trying to create something to make a difference to other people's lives. You have a blank canvas, and you're filling in every little bit of that canvas to get every single little detail right. And if that canvas, sings out at you at the end, and it's a beautiful picture, your business is going to be successful. If bits of the canvas are not quite right, your business may fail. So if you set up to change people's lives, you've got to get every single little detail right. You've got to make sure that the people that you're working with 100% believe in what you're trying to do, and you've got to make sure that what you're trying to do is worthwhile spending your time on. And at the end of the day, you want to be sure that that the people's lives you've affected, you've really you've affected them and benefited them. And if you get all that right, hopefully you'll be able to pay the bills at the end of the year.
I would say the overarching and key thing that really binds the group together is the idea of not just playing the game, but changing it for good. I think Richard embodies the principles better than anyone I've ever worked with and anybody that I know, because he's very focused on business, on starting new businesses, on making sure that he's got the right people in the businesses, but also on doing things differently and really changing the game. And I think that it's the combination of those that sets him apart as the great entrepreneur of his generation.